They told you the brain is a machine. They taught you to breathe just enough to survive, but they never told you that your breath is a code, a sacred rhythm, buried in ancient temples, mystic scrolls, and forgotten languages, meant to awaken dormant powers within the human mind. Every inhale, every pause, every exhale is a key, unlocking chambers in your brain that modern science still calls junk. They call it junk because they can't control it. But the ancients knew. They etched breathing maps into stone. They passed them in whispers between initiates. Because if the masses ever rediscovered this, they would no longer need priests, pills, or programming. This isn't just about oxygen, it's about frequency. Because breath is not just air, it's information. And somewhere in your DNA, you already know this. Before there were alphabets, before there were books, humans spoke with breath, not with words, but with rhythm. Shamans in the Amazon, monks in Tibetan caves, mystics in the deserts of Egypt. They all used breathwork to unlock hidden layers of consciousness. Because deep, conscious breathing isn't just a technique, it's a language your soul understands. A language that speaks to the nervous system, the energy centers, and the sleeping codes within the pineal gland. This gland, once known as the seat of the soul, responds to very specific breathing patterns. Slow enough to calm the noise of the mind, deep enough to send light into the dark corridors of the brain. But modern life has rewired you. It taught you to breathe shallow, panic fast, always on edge, which keeps you disconnected, distracted, and docile. This was never accidental, because the moment you remember how to breathe with awareness, you begin to reclaim your power, and the ancient breathing code starts to reactivate. Your brain isn't just a processor, it's a temple with secret doors that haven't been opened in lifetimes. Somewhere behind your forehead lies the prefrontal gateway, responsible for imagination, intuition, and non-linear knowing. Deeper still, the limbic vault, where emotion merges with memory, and at the very core, the pineal chamber, the seat of inner vision, sealed by centuries of noise and forgetting. So, how do you unlock these ancient rooms? Not with books, not with logic, but with breath. Conscious, rhythmic, focused breath. The yogis call it pranayama. The Egyptians mapped it into the nostrils of their statues. Even the early Gnostics whispered, "He who breathes with intention speaks with God." When you breathe deeply into the belly, pause, and exhale longer than you inhale, something changes. Blood flow shifts, brainwaves soften, neural patterns reorganize, and then silence. Not emptiness, but access. In that silence, the doors begin to open, and you don't just think differently. You start to remember who you were before the programming. Your body is not just flesh, it's a magnetic instrument, and your breath is how you charge it. Every deep inhale pulls in life force, not just oxygen. Every exhale releases static, blockages, fear, and between them, in that silent pause, you generate electromagnetic power. This isn't spiritual poetry. This is physics. Your heart emits an electric field. Your brain sends out waves, and together they create a personal frequency, one that either attracts synchronicity or repels it. When you breathe with rhythm, you activate your vagus nerve, balance your autonomic system, and shift from fight or flight into flow. That flow is the foundation of manifestation. Because energy flows where breath goes, and when that energy is coherent, aligned, calm, focused, your thoughts crystallize into outcomes. The ancients weren't meditating just for peace. They were charging, building inner circuits, waking up latent frequencies. Your reality doesn't change from thinking harder. It changes when you breathe deeper. This is how you stop reacting and start creating. The ancients didn't leave behind manuals. They left symbols, And inside those symbols were breath codes. In Egypt, the gods were drawn with exaggerated nostrils and elongated spines. They weren't just art. They were maps. In India, pranayama texts spoke of 3 sacred channels: Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna, the moon, the sun, and the silent current in between. In Jewish mysticism, Kabbalists whispered the divine name, Yod, He, Vav, He, in a rhythm that matched breath itself. A breath in, a pause, a breath out, and the sacred silence in between. They weren't speaking it. They were breathing God. Even the Christian mystics knew this. In the Gospel of Thomas, it's written, "If the spirit came into being because of the body, it is a wonder. But if the body came into being because of the spirit, it is a miracle." That miracle is breath, the bridge between seen and unseen. You've been given this map, not in your hand, but in your lungs, and the path is not linear. It's rhythmic, spiral, sacred. And now it's waking up again. Your DNA is not a blueprint. It's a library, coded with ancient memories, unlived lifetimes, and dormant powers passed through bloodlines. And the key to opening it isn't outside. It's in your breath. Each conscious inhale carries vibration. Each exhale releases suppression. When the rhythm is intentional, it triggers cellular resonance, vibrating specific parts of your DNA that modern science still labels inactive. But nothing in nature is truly inactive, only dormant, only waiting for the right signal. The ancients believed your breath carries light, photonic energy that interacts with genetic material. Modern quantum biology now agrees your breath affects gene expression. So when you breathe deeply, from the belly into the spine, through the nose, in silence, you begin to unlock strands of memory hidden in your very cells. Suddenly, you remember skills you never learned. You see symbols you've never studied. You feel drawn to places you've never been, because you have been. Your soul remembers, and now your body is catching up. You were never just flesh. You are living light, coded, concealed, and now awakening. Now that you remember the breath is a key, you're ready to use it. This technique was hidden in mystery schools, passed from initiate to initiate, and now it reaches you. It's called the tri-breath cycle, and it works like this. 1. Inhale through the nose for 4 counts. Feel it fill your belly, not your chest. 2. Hold for 7 counts. Feel the stillness, as if time itself has paused. 3. Exhale through the mouth for 8 counts. Slow, controlled, like releasing a deep secret. Do this in silence, eyes closed, spine straight, hands resting, palms up. Repeat for 7 cycles, just 7. Watch what happens. Your heart rate slows, your mind detaches, but something else rises. You might feel warmth between your eyebrows, tingling in your fingertips, or even a pull in your solar plexus. That's not imagination. That's your energy system reactivating. This technique wasn't just for relaxation, it was for remembrance, a way to break the surface tension of this illusion and access the deep waters of your true mind. Take a deep breath now, not just with your lungs, with your whole being, because what you're inhaling isn't just air, it's stardust. It's photons from a sun that's 8 minutes away. It's information from the cosmos. Ancient mystics believed that breath was the bridge between the microcosm and macrocosm. When you inhale, the universe experiences itself through you. When you exhale, you send your frequency back into the field. This is why breath was never just about survival. It was about alignment with Source, with the All, with the original intention behind your incarnation. Every conscious breath sends a ripple through the invisible grid of energy that binds all things. It's like knocking on a door, and the universe knocks back. Ever wondered why great revelations happen in silence? Why shamans sit in stillness? Why prophets fast and breathe instead of speak? Because in the absence of noise, breath becomes the voice of God. And you are both the listener and the message. You are not just in the universe, you are the breathing pattern of the universe itself. And once you align with it, nothing stays the same. You've heard it, you've felt it, not just the words, but the resonance. This wasn't a lesson, it was a reminder. The ancient breathing code is not locked in temples or scrolls. It's alive within you. In every inhale you ignore, and every exhale you suppress. But now, you remember. And with memory comes power. With power comes responsibility. The moment you begin to breathe with intention, you shift your vibration. And when you shift your vibration, your reality has no choice but to respond. You were programmed to forget, trained to breathe shallow, live numb, think small, but that ends now, because your breath is not theirs to control. It is your original code, your divine tool, and your first act of rebellion is to breathe like you were always meant to. So, take one final breath, not to survive, but to awaken, and from this moment on, you'll never breathe the same again.